In the beginning of prayer, Allah Almighty describes Himself as Allazi fatara samawati wal ard, the creator of the heavens and the earth. And in this way, He has connected Himself for us and in our minds to every single thing that exists in creation. And nothing can be a distraction if we understand this connection. Rather, it can be a reminder of Allah Almighty. Illustrating this point, Hazrat Muslim Maud who gave an interesting analogy where he wrote that in reality, knowledge of the being of God is an encompassing knowledge and comes after knowledge and understanding of other things. Some things are visible in themselves, and by seeing them, we become aware of them. For example, if we put our finger in front of an infant, he will just think that an object has come in front of him. He isn't aware that the finger is connected to a hand, and that hand is connected to an arm, and so on and so forth, and then that is connected to a mind, which instructs it to do all of these things. So with this analogy that Huzur has given, we can understand the nature of the creator or the mind being connected with a certain object or part of our body. Now, for example, if I'm playing with an infant, when they're very young in their developmental stage, they don't even make a strong connection between their own hand and their own mind. So when they look at my face and I'm playing with them and they're happy, and then I put my hand and my fingers in front of their face for them to play with, then they get distracted away from me and think that they're playing with something different. They don't make the connection that they're still playing with me, they're still interacting with me. So similarly, in the stages of our spiritual infancy, when we interact with this world, then they distract us away from Allah Almighty because we fail to make the connection of Allazi fatara samawati wal ard. Allah Almighty is the one who created this thing. Everything in the heavens and the earth, there's nothing you and I can think of that is not connected with Allah Almighty. It is a reminder of Allah Almighty. Now, as that infant grows a little bit more, and he understands this connection between his own hand and his own mind, and he sees it in others, then if I'm playing with him and he's smiling and he's looking at my face, and then I put my hand in front of him so he can play with my fingers, then he'll see that I'm trying to play with him. Now when he starts playing with my fingers and my hand, he's not distracted away from me. When he looks at my hand and starts playing, he's interacting with me. So it becomes a reminder of me and an interaction with me. It doesn't become a distraction from me anymore. So this also is what we begin to experience as we start to develop that connection with Fatiri Samawati wal Ard, the one who is the creator of the heavens and the earth. And any distraction that we might have in prayer can in fact become a reminder of our creator and Allah Almighty. Now, distractions turning into reminders of Allah Almighty is described in one way in a hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, where he said that there is none amongst you with whom is not attached from among the jinn or as Satan. The companion said that Allah's Messenger, is it even with you too? And he said that yes, but Allah Almighty helps me against him, so I am safe from his hand, and he does not command me but for good. Now, how is it that Satan would command the Prophet ﷺ to do good? It is against the function of Satan. Hazrat Muslim Maud explains that there is a general influence that Satan has on all people, and no one is safe from it. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said that when such an influence reaches me, it changes into righteousness. Thus, even satanic influences can be used for righteousness. So when you and I may see something that is beautiful and we don't connection its beauty and its praiseworthy attributes with its creator, then it distracts us away from Allah Almighty. But someone else, for example, let's say who is interested in art, who's an artist himself and a painter, when he sees a painting, then immediately his mind goes to the painter and he sees the beauties of the painter within that painting, the painter's expressions, the painter's talents, all of these different things. So for a person who does not make connections, then that painting we could say is a distraction from the painter, or it doesn't remind him. But for a person who has that connection and sees into the deeper things of things, then that painting is actually a reminder of the painter. And so in this way, something that ends up being a distraction for you or me, it can actually be a reminder of Allah Almighty for someone else. It is narrated, in fact, in Futuhul Ghaib, Hazrat Abdul Qadir Jilani rahimahullah said that the Allaher is Allah and the Creator is Allah. So He is more deserving of thanks than others. For example, one does not look towards the slave who carries a present, but towards the master, the sender of the gift. Whoever looks to the outside and the cause and his knowledge does not go beyond these is ignorant and defective in his intelligence. The term intelligent applies to a person on account of his insight into the ultimate end of things. Now, when we receive a gift, as Hazrat Abdul Qadir Jilani rahimahullah explained, none of us ever thinks of the mailman or the person who is in between, who is the means of the gift reaching us. We're immediately grateful to the sender. we make that connection to the person who it originated from, who it is a gift from. So this is the insight that he is referring to. So when we say in the beginning of prayer that وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, then one point that we are being reminded of is that we turn our attention towards him who is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He is the only one who we can say that every single thing that we observe is a reminder of him. It can be made into a reminder of him. So if we're getting distracted in our prayers with some other thoughts or some other beauty that's coming into our mind, something that's more worthy of attracting our attention in that moment, then we can remind ourselves that Allah Almighty is Allazi fatara samawati wal ard. If I wish to, if I had the intelligence and the insight and the depth of thought, if I strived hard enough, then this exact distraction can in fact become a reminder of the creator of this thing to me. It can become a reminder of the painter of this painting. It can be a reminder of Allah Almighty.